Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I have to thank the ANC for the beautiful job it's already doing. And we go straight to the topic, which says, what building through Father Edeh's educational institutions, an exposition of Professor Edeh's giant strides in peacekeeping, peacemaking, and peace building through education. Okay. Maybe we give, we'll start with the abstract. That may give us an idea of what the paper is all about. This paper highlights the comatose state of education in Nigeria, which fostered frustration owing to government takeover of mission schools after the Nigerian Civil War, before Father Edeh established his schools. Chronicle in this paper are Father Edeh's establishment of 4 preschools and elementary schools, 5 high schools, the first non-government college of education, polytechnic, and a university, as well as its establishment of a second university hereafter. The paper outlines the revolutionary role of schools, which combined discipline and scholarship brought peace to Nigerians and other benefiting nations, and by extension to the world. The paper highlights the uniqueness of Father Edeh schools in terms of their focus on all-round formation of the learners, intellectually, physically, and morally. It offers scholarships to the poor, among others, which have helped to build and sustain world peace. Finally, the paper discusses the role of Madonna International Charity Peace Award, an initiative of Father Edeh's Madonna University in promoting world peace. Turn to the point. I go back to the opening remarks made by our own dear Dr. Sharon about the need for peace. And I allude to the discussion you had with a person in a hotel room, in a hotel reception, that felt that world peace is impossible. Thank you for making it clear that it's achievable, and that is why we are here. Oftentimes, people have thought of peace as absence of war. And whenever there is no war, people think there is peace. In other words, if we stand on that premise, we can as well say that when there is war, then there is no peace. That may be true, but not all there is about it. That may amount to that truth. The point is that even in absence of war, there could still be a lot of problems that deny man the peace of mind that man needs. I may not be at war with you, but I may have so many other either inter or intra-personal conflicts that rob me of peace. That's exactly why we are saying that peace is something that has to be pursued. Peace is something that has to be pursued. If I may go back to the scriptures, I know that in Psalm 34 verse 14 it says, "Seek peace and pursue it." And that appears to be exactly what our own dear Reverend Father Professor Edeh has done in the past 30 years. He has consistently sought peace, he has consistently pursued peace, and one of those areas he has done exactly that is within the areas of educational institutions in Nigeria. I may wish to take us a little along the memory lane. A good number of us here who are Nigerians probably were in the country by the time the Civil War ended. During the Civil War, we remember that all the missionaries who were running Catholic and other schools were asked to leave the country. They did. And that was followed up by seizure, I want to use the word seizure, of the various schools founded by missionaries by the state. That marked the beginning of crisis in education in Nigeria. There was, from that point, nothing again like moral instruction in schools. Schools became secular. A lot of vices started cropping up. Examination malpractice, cultism, and all manner of crimes reared their ugly heads and got almost institutionalized. That exactly was the point where we found ourselves by the time Reverend Father Professor Edeh came back from his church sojourn abroad. And coming back home, he discovered that what he saw, what he used to know, was no more there. So he asked himself, what should be done? And the answer came, the only way to remedy the situation is to go back to the basics. Let's see if we can establish new schools, since these people have taken over the ones established already, and start from the scratch to teach people the art of living together, the art of living for peace, the art of seeing peace as something that should be pursued, pursuing peace, and then getting peace. He started by establishing primary schools, or what we call elementary schools. I won't bore you with the details, they are there. And then from there he progressed to establishing the higher institutions, one of which happens to be the Madonna University that I am currently superintending over. The first of the higher institutions was Oxford Polytechnic and Oxford College of Education. Those were established in 1992 in Enugu. Then there was practically no higher institution in Nigeria that was not owned by the government, so it was really difficult for him to go about it. It's a long story that at the end of the day, being the person he has always been, he was able to overcome. The government gave approval for the establishment of those two institutions. Those were then followed by other institutions. Then the question is, why these schools? Why these schools? Like I've said before, the idea was essentially to reinvent, if I may use the word, the culture of peace. Education, we know, is a process that molds character. And the only way you can now get it right, the only way you can reinvent the peace that appeared to have been lost in the country was to establish such modern schools where you train people of character, and then at the end of the day,